call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai by Shem Rakak Radash. I'm from the Prophets in Babylon out of Waco, Texas camp, affiliated with the branch of Prophets in Babylon, Tampa Bay, Florida. I'm your brother Atiyat. I'd like to give a special double honors to the elders and apostles on down at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. May the blessing of election be upon your household. Yahweh being the name of our Heavenly Father, which means He exists. And then you have Yahweh's Son's name, which is Yahweh Shai, which people ignorantly call Jesus, but his name is Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai means He that delivers. I hope and pray that this video is edifying, and may the blessing of election be upon your household. Lesson for today: do not meddle in other people's affairs. And Lord willing, I hope and pray that this will be edifying. So, we're living in the time of the end, and a lot of people out here are feeling the crunch, and it's going to continue to get worse and worse as we continue on in these latter days. And we want to be mindful that the Lord is bringing judgment upon not only our people, but also these Edomites as well, because of these Edomites are feeling that crunch too. You see a lot of these Edomites that's up under this wicked rulership that's run by Esau Edom, beginning with the wicked elite. They're suffering. You see a lot of them. I know where me and my camp leader used to go. We used to prophesy, and used to prophesy in the park. And in this particular park that we prophesied in, we used to see this Edomite, sleeping on the bench. And every weekend that we went out, he was, somewhere around that bench, And, when you think about it, that's punishment from the Heavenly Father because of what he's done. He's done something, whether in his lifetime now that he's living in or in his past life, because, we do believe in regeneration spoken of in the scriptures, and that we know that the Lord brings judgment. But the point I want to make here is that we have people, whether they people that we know, whether they be family, whether they be whomever, judgment can be upon those people. Just give an example. You may have a relative that's catching hell. Maybe they've lost their apartment. Maybe they've lost their home, car, their job, what have you. Those are judgments by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And when the Lord is judging those people, you don't want to get caught up in that situation of trying to help them, because before you know it, you can get caught up in it. May not be as bad as their suffering, but it's a suffering that you can feel. And when you understand the scriptures, that's a judgment from the Heavenly Father for you, interfering with the judgment. Just give an example. You see two Jakes fighting. You hear this all the time, where there have been Jakes who are fighting, and you got this one Jake who's trying to break that fight up. And the one that's trying to break the fight up ends up, going into the spirit world, because that's a classic example of meddling in other men's affairs. When you see certain situations like that, your spiritual thinking cap should be to, wearing your spiritual thinking cap. You should be, get away from it. Whatever's going to be, let it be, because that's a judgment from the Heavenly Father. You don't want to get caught up in that, because if not, you could get hurt, or you could be back in the spirit world for interfering in other men's affairs. And really, at the end of the day, it's Yahweh Shem Yahushai who's allowing this to happen, because that's judgment. Again, going back to family or certain friends that we might have known over the course of time, they may be going through some harsh situations. Maybe their lights are off, or maybe they're, whatever they might be going through. Maybe they need certain things, and it's a judgment from the Heavenly Father that those things are happening to them, because something that they have done to offend the Heavenly Father and the Son, man. These type of judgments happen, and they're going to continuously happen, especially further along we go into this, we go into Jacob's trouble, and so we want to be mindful not to get involved in those certain things, and I say these things speaking first and foremost of myself. I've experienced certain things, and so being that I've went through those things, I'm blessed to be able to relay these messages, man, that hey, man, the Lord will judge you. You may not be in that situation with that person that you're trying to help out of, but you can get caught up some kind of way to where you'll know that the Lord is judging you because you got no reason to be trying to help somebody that the Lord is punishing, So that would be a classic example of meddling in other people's affairs, or as the scriptures say, other men's affairs, but that could apply also to a woman. You could be helping a woman, and in a certain area or whatever, and Lord's bringing judgment on her as a reason for it, and you interfering in it, whether it be man or woman, whether it be a guy or what have you, you can get caught up in it. Now, of course, with your brother in the brotherhood, you want to, we want to have charity amongst the brotherhood. You help a brother, what have you. But at the same time, the scriptures teach us to be men, But there's nothing wrong with helping another brother. But these people in this world, they ain't right. And you got to understand that a lot of them have went and, did that, what they did back in 21, what have you. A lot of them did that, and their mindset ain't right, And so, and at the end of the day, they're not right with the Heavenly Father and the Son, They're not calling upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And so that's why a lot of them are catching that hell that they're catching. And if you're not careful, you can get caught up in it too, and you don't want that, 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 15. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. Yeah, so, of course, we don't want to be murderers. We don't want to be a thief. We don't want to be an evildoer. But the point is to not be a busybody in other men's matters, So you don't want to go interfering and trying to help people that the Lord is not dealing with, busybody being in other people's matters and, doing too much talking, you think about it, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has give us enough on our plate to be concerned with our, with us, as well as our fellow brothers, that we really shouldn't be in that mindset to be busybodies. Our mindset should be concentrating on the Heavenly Father, learning and growing and building in the Spirit, because these people out here, hey, they rely on this system. We rely on Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So, this is something to keep in mind, to, be mindful, stay away from these people as much as possible, man, because they'll drag you into some mess that you don't want to be in, And I like I say again, I speak first and foremost, been there, done that, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, to warn brothers. You have elder apostles, they've gone through the same thing. All of it is part of that chastening process that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai puts up on us to build us. A diamond doesn't reach its full potential until, it's taken care of, polished up. And that's what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is doing with us. He's polishing us up. So that's why we have to go through the chastening and things of that nature, So, Lord willing, I hope and pray that this is an edifying lesson. Once again, I want to give all praises and honor and glory that's definitely due to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem Rakak Radash. Special double honors to the elders and apostles on down at Great Millstone. And peace and salutations to the elect. Until the next time, Lord willing, I'll say shalom.